What's going on, Red Sox Nation? Welcome back to the channel. And today we've got some shocking trade buzz heating up around the Boston Red Sox that you absolutely need to hear because things are starting to feel real. Not just speculation, not just rumors, but a situation that could actually reshape this team during the 2026 season. Right now, the Red Sox are in a tough spot, and if you've been following the latest reports, you already know the start to this season has been rough, sitting near the bottom with an early 1-5 record and struggling on both sides of the ball, and that has immediately pushed front office conversations into overdrive. And whenever Boston struggles early, you know what that means: big decisions, aggressive moves, and possibly a blockbuster trade that nobody saw coming. Now here's where things get really interesting, because multiple insiders and reports suggest that the Red Sox are actively exploring trade options to bring in a new star-level player, and not just any piece. We're talking about a potential impact name that can immediately fix one of their biggest weaknesses. One of the clearest issues right now is balance. This roster is loaded in certain areas like the outfield, with talent like Jarren Duran, Wiley Abreu, Cedin Rafaela, and Roman Anthony all competing for roles, but at the same time, there are glaring holes, especially when it comes to consistent offense and pitching stability. That imbalance is exactly what drives trades, and the Red Sox know it. There have already been serious discussions linking Boston to pitching upgrades, including a potential deal involving Kansas City Royals star Cole Ragans, a move that would likely require giving up a major asset like Jarren Duran. Think about that for a second. Trading one of your most dynamic outfielders to fix your rotation, that's not a small move, that's a franchise-shifting decision. But that's exactly the type of aggressive thinking we're starting to see from this front office, especially after an offseason where they missed out on big names like Alex Bregman and had to pivot to alternative solutions. And speaking of Bregman, his departure still casts a shadow over this roster. Boston tried to replace that production with players like Caleb Durbin, who was brought in through a multiplayer trade earlier this year. But so far, that move hasn't fully solved the problem. The infield still lacks that true star presence, that guy who can anchor the lineup, deliver in big moments, and bring consistency every single night. That's why there's growing buzz that the Red Sox aren't just looking for pitching help, they're also quietly exploring opportunities to land a power bat, possibly even taking a risk on a high-upside slugger if the price is right. There's even been speculation involving a shocking scenario with the Atlanta Braves, where Boston could target a suspended but high-impact slugger in a risky, high-reward trade. It's the kind of move that could either completely transform the lineup or backfire massively, but it shows you how aggressive this front office might be willing to get. And let's be real, when a team starts considering moves like that, it tells you one thing: they are not satisfied with where they are right now. Another key factor driving all this trade buzz is the internal pressure building within the organization. We've already seen some strange early season decisions, including unexpected lineup changes and even unexplained benchings that have raised eyebrows around the league. That kind of tension usually doesn't just disappear, it builds, and often leads to a shake-up. Add in fan frustration, media criticism, and even public reactions calling out ownership decisions, and suddenly the urgency becomes very real. And here's the bigger picture that makes this even more intense: the Red Sox have already been one of the most active teams in terms of roster moves over the past year. They've added players like Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray, and others through trades and signings, clearly signaling that they are trying to compete now, not rebuild. But when you invest that much and still struggle out of the gate, it forces you to rethink everything. Are the pieces fitting together? Is the chemistry right? Or do you need one more major move to bring it all together? And that's exactly where this new star rumor comes into play. The idea isn't just to tweak the roster, it's to make a statement. A trade that says, we're not waiting, we're not settling, we're going all in right now. Whether that's a frontline pitcher, a middle-of-the-order bat, or a versatile star who can impact multiple areas of the game, the Red Sox are clearly exploring their options. And with so many teams around the league also looking to make moves, the competition is fierce, which means Boston might have to overpay to get the deal done. Now let's talk timing, because this is where things get really crucial. Early season struggles don't always define a team, but they do influence decision making. Some analysts believe it's too early to panic, pointing out that there's still plenty of talent on this roster and potential for a turnaround. But others see this as a warning sign, a signal that something isn't clicking and needs to be fixed sooner rather than later. And if the Red Sox front office leans toward that second mindset, we could see a trade happen much earlier than expected, not waiting until the deadline, but striking while the market is still developing. And don't forget, the trade market itself in 2026 is expected to be tricky. Reports suggest that high-impact players, especially right-handed bats, are going to be extremely hard to acquire, with limited availability and high asking prices. That means if Boston truly wants a star, they'll have to act aggressively, and possibly give up more than fans are comfortable with. Prospects, young talent, even established players could all be on the table. So when you put it all together, the slow start, the roster imbalance, the missed opportunities, the internal pressure, and the aggressive mindset from the front office, it creates the perfect storm for a shocking trade. This isn't just noise, this is a team at a crossroads, and the decisions they make over the next few weeks could define their entire 2026 season. And Red Sox fans, this is where I want to hear from you. Do you think Boston should go all in and trade for a star right now, or should they stay patient and trust the current roster to figure things out? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is one of those moments where every opinion matters. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay ahead of every Red Sox rumor, trade buzz, and breaking news, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We're covering everything all season long, and trust me, if a big move happens, you'll hear it here first.